I'm struggling to find the words. I don't know what to say anymore. I don't really know what the purpose of me being here is. It started off as no purpose, just utterings, just consciousness finding itself on a stool, making some sort of connection with myself through the laptop or with you, whoever you are. But when the mind resurfaces, it's very, very, very difficult to find space for that really wants to speak, that true speaker, that spirit that wants to get in on the action and tell you how it is, like Christ did, or like Buddha did, or like any other one that has discovered the truth about themselves wants to share that truth about themselves. And sometimes it goes on to a teaching aspect or a informative aspect or an entertaining aspect. Not very much with the speaker. or just blurb, and most of these videos are just blurb to any mind, because you cannot actually understand the experience of another body, another mind, another person. There's no two minds exactly the same, and that's what you have to be mindful of when you sit and you say, this is the way to go, or this is the way not to go, or this is the way they're doing things, or this is the way they're not doing things. Hopefully most of these videos have taken no sides. But I want to, so I can't find anything to speak about, but I find myself here, and something just came up to share something that was really crucial in an awakening, in this body's awakening, this mind awakening, this space that I am awakening to the freedom of knowing its full potential, its full self. In midst awakening, meditation was taking place. Meditation is always taking place. What you have to understand is you're always crying, you're always smiling, you're always meditating. Every state that you can think about as a human way, you're doing that at the same time all the time, right? In your true original state right now. But you have a body, a system, an emotional, time-based body that can break these states down and put them in a particular type of order. Because you're not doing all these things at once right now. You're maybe listening right now. You're maybe sighing right now. So this body is vital for us to see this world in a very gentle, subtle, slow processing way. And that's what you're appearing as. You're seeing a reflection of what you are in every state. But to be that euphoric thing that you are, and not contained in a body, is to experience all these components as one at the same time. Sun, rain, wind, clouds, moon, night, dark, day, sex, laughter, relationships, all in one moment at the same time. Can you imagine? There is no real joy or real contentment in this. So we take ownership, we create ourselves a body, we create ourselves a mind, and we come into this tower of I, and we appear as if that this is reality. Reality is not in this, reality is not in reality is a transition between the two. That's what reality is. It's an opportunity from source, from God, or whatever you want to call it, consciousness, to say, okay, you can move out of this into this, but it's the movement that I give you. It's the change that I give you. It's the allowance to become that what you wanted to become, to understand your full potential, your full incredible vastness, your full spatial, neither visible nor invisible self. So this story actually describes that. I was in midst awakening. I couldn't find myself. This I had gone. This I had disappeared. There was just bliss, beautiful love. You've seen all these non-dual speakers. You've understood them. I had an earlier video called Awakening, where it's like this freak is just out of his face in some sort of lucid drugs or whatever, but there's no drugs involved, there's no alcohol, there's nothing involved when you're awakening, true awakening. Even food is cast aside, just water. And in this midst awakening, I was using that Ramana Maharshi. Mind must have been present because it was able to deny things. So mind in its denial has to be present. Mind cannot not be present, but it is very subdued, very subtle. It gets thinner and thinner and thinner until it becomes very, very, very transparent for you to see through this mind. During some sort of wakefulness in the morning, I opened my eyes, the sun was shining through. I had nothing to do. I just wanted to lie and just be in this bliss, be in this beautiful love, this incredible, incredible joy. And when I closed my eyes, I had this vision of this chapel, like the foyer of a chapel. And in this chapel there were seats, obviously, many, many rows of seats, like a rounded chapel at the bottom, with the door open, lights, windows coming in, light coming in, beautiful golds and everything, a wonderful, beautiful chapel, no one present. And at the back of the seats there was this staircase that went right up, right up, right up, right up, right up, and you couldn't see the end of this staircase. I thought, there was no thinker there, there was nothing taking place. And something says, right, not this, Ramana Maharshi. I've seen angels, not this. I've seen all this stuff, not this. I've seen so many out-of-body experiences, not this. But this was not granted. Something bound the mind, bound the chooser, and said, no, you're going to watch this. You're going to be present with this. There was no fear, there was no anguish, there was just this beautiful chapel. It was wonderful, it was great. Nothing happening, no movement, no birds singing, no noise, nothing, just this. This went on for days. Every time I closed my eyes, effortlessly this thing came. It was beautiful, tranquil. I thought, well, this is going to be it for the rest of my life. I'm quite happy and content with this. If this is what it is. Am I dying? Is this the life judgment, this empty chapel? Is that what my life has been about? All these little subtle thoughts came, and they were thrown away, cast aside. And this went on for weeks, months, I don't know, maybe a year. It was part of my life. I got to work, come home, close my eyes, chapel. Was I being told to be religious? I don't know. I didn't ask these questions. There was no questioner. There was nothing. There was no me. There was no I. There was nothing there questioning what was taking place. There was just an acceptance that whatever was showing me this was saying, you will, and you have no choice in this matter. You cannot fight or argue against this, what was observing, what was revealing this. And then out of the blue, suddenly, I opened my eyes to look out the window, and when I closed my eyes again, there was a little man, or a little figure, with a black, all dressed in black monk dress with a belt and a black hood, sitting on one of the pews like this, head down, on its own, like it was waiting for an appointment. No visibility of the face, no skin, no hands, no feet, just a black cloak with a hood. I thought, Ah, like I say, no question or nothing, just acceptance, trusting and having faith in what was taking place. This figurine, this black hooded figurine, it sat there, and every time this meditation or this eyes closed, waking up in the morning, this chapel was there, and this now little black monk, black hooded monk with no face, no hands, nothing, just sat. And this again went on for weeks, possibly months. And I thought, well, no one to say what's going on, no one to say, is this a life story? There was just this thing happening. And then again, out of the blue, one day, sitting watching this monk, this hooded figure, it stood up. It stood up and walked and turned around behind the seats and ascended up the staircase. I wasn't in control of the situation, so I couldn't see if he went right up to the top of the staircase. But there was a feeling of, it's gone. It's gone. Whatever is gone is gone. And the chapel remained the same. Same, beautiful, like, is someone else going to come in now? I got up that day, went to work, did my usual stuff, came home, and at night went to sleep. No chapel. No more. Couldn't even relive the picture. Can't at this point now even describe or draw or imagine or portray some sort of even close reflection of what it was. That very next day, I got up and this voice said, "You're now free from the Tower of I." I went, who said that? I felt my body open up and become even more tranquil, even more lucid, even more vast. And then everything started to come, something would speak inside with no words, no languages, no pictures, and say, explain what was going on. And it took 7 years. I don't know exactly how long ago this happened. I can't remember being there. I can't remember who I was, what I was. I can't remember any association or attachments or anything to what was taking place, even my body. It was death. It was ego. I was free from the Tower of I. This was a tower. It was circular in the bottom and it was circular all the way up. All the way up. The Tower of I, free from the Tower of I. I died, you see. That was my death. That was the death of the ego. When they say die before you die, that was the death of the ego. It went with no fight. It went with no state of mind. It just waited and waited and waited, knowing it was going to get called up at some point to face that what I don't know if it feared it. I don't know if it was longing for it. There was no real me there. I don't even know if I was in the chapel or I was observing from a body or observing from a window or observing from whatever place. And the story really is, what came next was everything was revealed. The ego goes out into the space. The Tower of I, this I that we associate with, I am. I am a person, I am a body, I am space, I am whatever, I am angry, I am happy, I am sad, is only can be lived in this Tower of I. In science they call it black holes. Each one of us has a tower. That's why there was only one in the chapel. It was myself, my ego, my whole encompassing state. But the process before this happened was to remove, reveal. As Mooji says, pretend you're an onion and you take off coat by coat by coat by coat, layer of skin by layer of skin by layer of skin, until you become that what remains. an idea, a thought, a bit of darkness, a black hooded figurine. That's ego. And it faced its death. I faced I's death. There is no fear, no more worries, no concerns about this body, no concerns about life, no concerns about anything. Because one day the body will itself actually experience this. Maybe not in the same chapel, maybe not in the same way, but it wasn't painful. It was a beautiful, wondrous, free, liberating experience. And what has remained is that the Avadut poem was revealed many days after this. Dattareya's song, the Avadut poem, made sense because this is what was experienced. Because when the ego went out into the space, you become that space that you've never not been. You're just naked, without a tower, without an eye, without a body, without an ego. Everything is here. Everything is here. Your skin, everything is here. It's a mind game. It's a mind thought. And Avadut says, I'm nectarian knowledge, unchanging bliss. I is everywhere, like space. I has moved through the tower of itself into space that it never not was.